Hello everyone, thank you for coming. On behalf of my family and I would like to extend our greatest gratitude towards you for your attendance today. We have all gathered here today to celebrate the beautiful life of my mother, Minasanne Dite SaintFort, aka Mina. My mother was one of a kind, to say the least. If there is anything I've learned from her in our short time together, is that she never stopped loving Jesus. She was a faithful follower of Jesus. She was so proud about her participation in her church events, choir, and prayers on the weekend. She attended every Saturday. She loved her family. She loved to provide for her family as well. She actually one person that I know that at least enjoys going to work. And she prayed like it was nobody's business. She loves to dance. She also taught me how to dance the Haitian dance, Guyard. Guyard special. So every time we would have worship and praise and worship at home, even if it was Christian music, which it was always Christian music, we would still use the same dance as if like no one was watching but our God. We loved to shop every weekend, and we did so every weekend on my budget, of course. I can clearly recall her cooking all 3 meals before noon. She loved cooking. Every single day, she was never too tired to get anything done. I, on the other hand, was always on breaks, watching her work, taking naps, and she would jokingly say, "Don't you ever get tired of napping?" And I would say, "Mom, there's no such thing as getting tired of napping." And unlike you, Mom, you never tired. And she would just laugh and say, mothers get tired too. And I would say, not you though, you're always on it. And unfortunately, by the time she would be done with her chores or cooking or whatever she had planned for the day, of course, that's when I would get up and realize, oh, she had already done it all, But my mother enjoyed taking care of her family. Like, she enjoyed it. I've never seen anyone love the kitchen as much as she does. And on days that she had to work, it doesn't matter what was going on, she would say, I have to work in case something were to happen to one of you or your brothers, and there's nothing else left, and at least I know I've saved some money somewhere, and you guys would have it to take care of yourselves. She always put her children first, and I know for a fact that she loved us no matter what. On February 2nd, our lives took an unexpected detour. When I was at work, my mom was at home at my house with Zion, and I noticed that she was acting a little strange on the camera. So, long story short, I rushed home to see what was going on, and we had to have her go get checked up at the hospital, so I took her to my hospital where I worked. When we got there, what I thought was going to be just a simple UTI infection, and we were going to go home about our day, turned out to be a diagnosis for a brain tumor that she had for over 20 years. That tumor is what has been impacting and influencing her decision-making, her thought process, her actions, her emotions for the last 20 years, and we had no idea. Moreover, she overcame the tumor. She had the surgery. They were able to remove the whole thing, and she had recovered. So we had a good several months before our next diagnosis. Moreover, while Mom was in rehab, I got to see a side of my mother I always longed for. A real mother that was kind at all times, funny and not depressed. After the removal of the brain tumor, she was able to be the best version of herself. She was a beautiful person. I would get reports from staffs about how funny she was and how well she was doing and all the jokes that she would tell them to make them laugh. Every time I come to visit, they would give me a wonderful report about how great she was. At that moment, I realized, wow, all those years that I thought she was somebody else, it turned out she was a better person than I thought. So, So fast forward, I remember reading Proverbs 3, verse 5 through 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. In that season in my life last year, I finally understood what God meant when he said, lean not unto your own understanding. All my life, her relationship with the family was always questionable. We never could understand her fully. But last year, we got to discover that all those things that had happened, all the mistakes that she made, were not really who she was. It was all part of the tumor. She did, in fact, love us. She did, in fact, love her family. So, moving forward, in August, we got the diagnosis for the breast cancer. And by the time we found out about it, it was already too late. It was already stage 4, and there was nothing we can do about it. When I told my mother the news, I thought she would have been upset, as I was, because I was crying. But she wasn't. So as we were driving back to her place, I said, Mom, are you happy? She looked at me and she said, yes. I said, why? She said, because I got to be in this car with you, and we're driving around looking at houses, which was something we always enjoyed doing together. So I turned my head back on the road and I said, wow, here I am, boo-boo crying, feeling bad for her, but in the midst of all of this, she's actually happy. And she had no fear in her eyes. She knew what was about to happen, and she was ready. So as I started talking to Jesus, I watched my mother I've watched my mother done so many times before. I learned to talk to God in more ways than one. As my mother slowly started to decline week by week, for the last week of her final days, I remember her words. She would always tell me, lovely. She would call me love. Love. No matter what happens, no matter what you go through in life, just hold on to Jesus. And she would say that periodically throughout my life, and I would always find it strange that she would say it in the middle of doing something so random. But it wasn't until last year I realized that if I never did what she would say to me all the time, hold on to Jesus, I would have never made it. Well, November 31st at 2:34, my mother got her beautiful wings. As I held her in my arms, reassuring her that I would be okay, that we would all be okay, I felt God's arm wrapped around me and her as she ascended to heaven. Thank you all for being here. And to my friends, I could not have prayed for better friends. I now understand the scripture that says there are friends that stay closer than a brother, than sister. Because this whole event was put together with the help of my friends, from the worship, this flyer, this flyer that you are holding, and everything else that is being done today was done because my friends came through and they put it all together. And I could not have asked God for any better group of people to do life with. And on behalf of my family, we would like to say thank you to everyone who showed up today and who are also watching online. And to my family, extended family in Ghana, I would like to say thank you to you as well for your continuous prayers. And to all our other family members who could not make it here today, we would like to say thank you for your prayers. They have now gone unanswered. I truly believe that my mother is happy and resting. And I just wanted to say, may God continue to bless you all, and thank you for being here.